The power of the wallet. In the world of global business,
Do you know what that tastes like? Like a company that doesn't support genocide.
voting with your wallet is no longer just a metaphor. It's a weapon. Right now, across the Middle East, Asia, and parts of Europe, millions of consumers are doing something once thought impossible. They are walking away from the biggest American food icons in history. We're not talking about a few dozen protesters outside a store. We're talking about 30%, 50%, and even 70% drops in sales for brands that have dominated the globe for decades. From the Israel-Gaza conflict to decades-old ethical disputes, consumer activism has transformed into a powerful form of political expression. Today, we're breaking down the 6 major U.S. food brands facing massive global boycotts in 2026, why millions are leaving, and how local alternatives are permanently changing the market. Why this matters: consumer activism as protest. Before we name the brands, we have to understand the why.
In more news, McDonald's Malaysia has sued a movement promoting boycotts against Israel for false and defamatory statements. The movement has incited the public to boycott McDonald's Malaysia, which has led to loss of profit and job cuts as well.
For a long time, multinational corporations tried to stay neutral. But in the age of social media and hyper-transparency, neutrality is a luxury that no longer exists. The trigger: the ongoing geopolitical conflict in Gaza has been the primary spark. When consumers see a brand, rightly or wrongly, as being complicit or symbolic of a government's foreign policy, they strike back where it hurts most: the bottom line. The shift: this isn't just about anger, it's about identity. Consumers are increasingly favoring local brands that align with their values. We're seeing a massive rise in South-South trade, where countries in the Middle East and Asia support each other's brands instead of the West. This isn't a temporary trend. For many, it's a permanent divorce from Western consumerism. 1. McDonald's, the franchise flashpoint. No brand has felt the heat more than the Golden Arches. In early 2025, McDonald's reported its first global sales decline in nearly 4 years. The reason? The boycott ignited when the McDonald's Israel franchise reportedly provided thousands of free meals to Israeli forces. This move sparked immediate outrage across Muslim-majority nations. Despite the parent company in Chicago insisting they are neutral and that franchises are independently owned, the damage was done. The impact: in markets like Egypt, Malaysia, and Indonesia, sales plummeted. In some regions, traffic dropped by as much as 70%. The pivot: to stop the bleeding, McDonald's took the unprecedented step of buying back all 225 of its Israeli outlets from the local franchisee to regain control of the brand's messaging. But in 2026, many consumers remain unconvinced, viewing the brand as a symbol of U.S. military support. 2. Starbucks, the symbolic target. Starbucks has become a primary target of the BDS, boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement, despite not having any stores in Israel. The reason: the boycott against Starbucks is deeply rooted in perceived political stances. It reached a boiling point when the company sued its labor union over a social media post expressing support for Palestinians. Starbucks claimed the suit was about trademark protection, but the public saw it as a political silencing. The result: by mid-2025, Starbucks had lost an estimated $11 billion in market value. In the Middle East, its regional operator, Al-Shaya Group, was forced to cut over 2,000 jobs due to challenging trading conditions. The local threat: in place of Starbucks, local coffee chains like Barnes in Saudi Arabia or local artisanal cafes are seeing record growth, as consumers decide they don't need a Seattle-based brand for their morning brew. 3. KFC and 4. Pizza Hut, the Americana struggle. Both KFC and Pizza Hut are operated in many boycott-heavy regions by the Americana Group. Their financial reports for 2024 and 2025 have been a sea of red. The reason: as iconic symbols of Americana, these brands are hit simply by association with U.S. foreign policy. KFC, in particular, faced intense backlash in Southeast Asia. In Malaysia, over 100 KFC outlets were forced to temporarily close in 2024 as customers simply stopped showing up. The impact: Americana reported a net profit drop of nearly 40% in 2024, citing regional geopolitical situations. For Pizza Hut, the struggle is even harder as local pizza chains offer cheaper, culturally tailored alternatives that don't carry the political baggage of a Western franchise. 5. Burger King, the silent decline. Like McDonald's, Burger King found itself in the crosshairs over its franchise actions in the Middle East. The reason? Protesters highlighted instances where local Burger King franchises provided food to military units, leading to widespread calls for a spending freeze. In nations like Turkey and Jordan, Burger King outlets that were once packed on Friday nights are now frequently seen with more staff than customers. The shift? Burger King has tried to distance itself through localized marketing campaigns, but the Western brand label has become an economic stigma. In 2026, the chain is focusing on silent rebranding in some regions or scaling back operations to high-volume tourist zones only. 6. Nestle, the decade's OLD debate. Unlike the others, the Nestle boycott didn't start with a recent war. This is one of the longest-running consumer protests in history, dating back to the 1970s. The reason? The boycott centers on Nestle's marketing of infant formula in developing nations. Activists have long argued that Nestle discouraged breastfeeding in favor of formula, which, when mixed with contaminated water in impoverished areas, led to infant illness and death. The status in 2026. While Nestle has adopted many WHO guidelines, the boycott remains active through organizations like IPFAN. In 2025 and 2026, this movement has been reinvigorated by younger, socially conscious, Gen Z consumers who are combining the old ethical concerns with new criticisms of Nestle's water bottling practices. To millions, Nestle remains the ultimate unethical corporation. Narrative thread: the rise of solidarity brands. The most fascinating part of this story isn't just who is losing, it's who is winning. We are seeing the birth of this solidarity brand. Take Palestine Cola, for example. Launched in Sweden by Palestinian-owned Safed Food, this soda has become a global sensation. In its first few months, it sold millions of cans, explicitly positioning itself as a boycott-safe alternative to Coke and Pepsi. In Pakistan, local brands like Cola Next saw their market share jump from 2% to 12% almost overnight. This signals a permanent change. Consumers have realized that local alternatives aren't just as good. They carry a moral weight that a U.S. multinational can no longer offer. The new global map. The boycotts of 2026 aren't just a phase, they are a warning. In a world where every purchase is a political statement, U.S. food brands are learning the hard way that global reach comes with global responsibility. When millions walk away, they don't always come back. Which of these boycotts have you seen in your area? Do you think these brands can ever win back the trust they've lost? Let us know in the comments.